morning. Today is the last day of November, November 30th, 2015, as we head into the last month of the year. I'm Joseph Kleider for AscensionPathway.com on the Evan Fain YouTube channel, bringing you another episode of grid work, geoengineering on a daily basis. Western sector looking absolutely fabulous. As I pan in here, you can start to see the difference in the horizon color. But in any event, there's nobody out here visibly spraying. There's the eastern sector. Look at the haze. And there's the southern sector. White as could be. Looks like snowfall or something, doesn't it? Sun, white, should be yellow. And then all the way around. But nothing active. I can't hear any jets. If they are spraying the indigo skyfold mix, I'm not hearing them. And I'm not seeing them. So how can that be? Nobody flying today. Another thing to think about. And we got a little action going. Looks like a red-tailed silver bullet. As they continue to paint these jets up in different colors. See the red tail? These are plumers. Looks like a red tail. Here is the satellite weather report. You looked outside, you could see the gray blue sky, and yet here it says it's been chemtrailed. So I'm sure they're going to be out spraying that Indigo Skyfold Phase 2 program mix. Look down here what they're doing to the South Pacific. And they sprayed across Mexico in through Texas to go in line with these states in through here. Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia. Look at it, isn't that a mess? The only hole in the grid is a little bit there in Michigan and Ohio. Little Pennsylvania, very tiny. Sure, that's going to be sprayed over real quick. And bits and pieces in Florida. The Gulf bomb, they're not spraying that because they've got this thing coming in. Look at that mess. And up over here, Canada, look at that. Can you understand what's going on there? Look at that. They got a little reprieve. Some of those provinces got a little sun coming through the soot. This. Got a couple of jets and crossing the grid. Do you see that? I'm not picking it up, I'm just shooting it. It's really hard to visualize. There's that guy there. We'll bring him in. And the guy that just went by is somewhere back in here. Hopefully it shows up on here. I'm not seeing it. But they're still making the grid. And that's the point I'm trying to get across. Indigo Skyfold Phase 2 mix is in the works. People need to wake up and get out of their cognitive dissonant state. Well, it's about 12:30, maybe 12:45, and look at the rails we got in that southern horizon. A little wispy there, chemtrailed over here, and it's coming our way. You saw the weather report, showed the whole sky was covered. Well, not yet, but you can see what they're doing. It's coming this way. So it might be telling us that that satellite weather report is bogus now. About 1:15. And look at what this guy did. He sprayed another rail across the X. Look at that. A few rails going across the sky. They don't need to do this. There we go. We got a live active chemtrailer. Right there. Flowing the plume. Right by the sun. There he is as he's heading for the grid. He's heading right for that grid work. Getting close to 1:30, they're still spraying. Look at this guy. Look at the size of that rail. So you still think that everything's normal, huh? Well, go talk to your doctor about a cure for cognitive dissonance. Standing on my driveway, you can see how the rails have dispersed into an overcast plume. Further documentation, it's not overcast. No siree. These are chemtrail rails that have been dispersed in the plume. And look at, you can see over the mountains, you can see the white soot as it all disperses and falls on Mother Earth. 2:30 in the afternoon in the great wide open, and look at this guy spraying this plume. heading right over Mingus. You can see how unsymmetrical, look at that. Broke apart there, turned a little, all wispy. You can see the Medusa effect starting to happen. Looks like a Medusa. I guess we can actually call this a Medusa. Sun, white again. Look at the plume. Look at that plume. Look how far the Medusa extends. Look how long. In a straight line. Looks like we got our sights on a silver bullet. Just look at this silver bullet. It looks like a red tail. Look at the plume. Spewing on and off. You see that? What I'm going to do is take you down the rail and I'll show you where he came from. Back him off. The rail's dispersing pretty quick, but he came right out of that same rail the other guy left right there. Oh, come on. Look at the Medusa hairs coming out of there. Wow. It's about 3 o'clock. They're out there spraying. Look at this plume this guy left. Nice long rail. Right alongside this guy's rail. They're double and triple railing us, because if you look at the Medusa now. All the way across. And then he stopped it when he got over there. So they're just extending the Medusa. Look at that, how the X marks the spot. It just doesn't get any more obvious than that. And we got another guy spraying. He's heading for that grid. And I'll show you exactly where he's going. We got this guy spraying a plume. Look how light that plume is. See the plume? You can see the plume right there. Look how covert that plume is. Look, he's really kicking it into gear now. Wow, from no plume to plume. Ha 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 ha. In your face plumage. Back on this guy. You can see what he's doing. He didn't plume it until he was inside this existing plume. Because I was watching him. I just thought, well, maybe it's a passenger jet. Now we know he's not. Look at the plumage. He's spraying right into the blue. And he's heading into the rails that are farther upstream, right there. See those rails there? He's heading for that. Oh, look, he turned it off. Ha ha. Then we caught this guy spraying right inside the plume. There he is. Right inside the existing plume, so you don't even see it. Silver bullet. Right inside the existing plume. Look at that. See that rail all the way across. Back on this guy, we'll see if he turns it off or he continues to spray. As you can see, the one guy went one way, the other guy went the other way. Just non-stop grid pattern. That's why we call the show grid work. I'm heading for the gray wide open for the final documentation. You can still see the rail that guy left right there, went right into the plume. So they're using these on and off plumes just to extend the grid line. And you can see how they expanded this rail. It's all dispersed in the chemtrail plume. And back over here, you can see the rail there, and look what we got going here. We got a red bad boy. Oh yeah. We got ourselves a red bad boy spraying. Well, I don't know. Could be. Or a Patriot. Look at the dirty, nasty plume. Wow. 2 different plumes for sure as he makes the grid. Look at that. Doesn't get any more obvious than that. Look at that plume. My God, that dirty plume. That's just criminal activity against humanity. Last documentation of the night. As we look at the black Medusa, it was white earlier, fade into the west. As the black soot just falls from the sky on top of us. See the soot? There are no clouds anymore because they're not clouds. Look at that. Got a little tiny bit of fin work back in there. Railed fin, As I pan over here, heading toward that southern sector, you can see the soot falling out of the rails. Look at the black soot out of that rail. See it falling? Let it focus for you. There you go. You can see the soot. Okay. As you pan into that southern sector, look at the backward sunset. Sunset set in the west, not in the southeast. Look at that eastern sector. Look at this. Look at the rail up here. Rail there. You can almost see the soot falling out of the sky, out of that rail. Okay, so I back it up here. Starting to have focus issues. My battery's just about drained, so I'm going to back it off. You can see the rails. Look at those rails. If you can't see those rails, well, you already know my opinion on that. Down in here, you can see the connecting rail they snuck in there. See that? It's almost two connecting rails. See them? Right there. Oh, man. We got a rail up here. Let me see if I can back that off and then bring it back in. Rail, this is where that guy went by. Man, it's just nasty. And then the rail inside the Medusa. There it is. Well, look at the soot over here falling now. Just seconds later, you can see the soot. Oh boy, have a good night.